Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going deep into some pretty disturbing source material you've provided. It's excerpts from London's silent horror, the Clan Kelley exposure, specifically Chapter 2 called Body Snatchers, the Silent Horror of London.
That's right. And our mission here isn't just to lay out facts. We're really peeling back the layers on Clan Kelley's operations, showing how they turn actual human beings into, well, into commodities.
It sounds incredibly dark.
It is. We're guiding you through this hidden side of London, exploring how lives just vanish, identities get erased, all under this chilling kind of power that seems to have no moral compass at all.
Okay, prepare yourself. The sources paint a really dark, intense, almost cinematic picture, like a dystopian thriller mixed with a grim documentary. It's a journey into horrors most people don't even know exist. Hashtag one. Lost in the process. Right, let's start with this first section you highlighted, lost in the process. The source material itself apparently has this hushed, almost whispered tone, doesn't it? Like we're uncovering something dangerous.
Exactly. It immediately sets this scene of a city's dark underbelly where the name Clan Kelley just sort of echoes. It's described as this invisible threat.
An invisible threat.
Yeah, and if you cross them, or maybe just stumble into their path, you simply disappear. And that's what pulls DedSec in.
DedSec, right, the hacktivist group from the narrative.
An old resistance ally vanishes, no trace left. So DedSec feels compelled they have to dive into these really dangerous places, the kind of places where awful secrets are kept.
And the description of these Kelley facilities, it's genuinely chilling. The source talks about light beams, armed guards, but they're hiding more than just data, aren't they?
Much more. It says biological secrets, manipulated bodies, erased identities. Imagine just for a second the feeling of moving through a place like that, knowing what's hidden, the weight of it.
Unspeakable horror, like you said, silent screams maybe.
And the source details how the agent gets in. It's all very stealthy, guided by a contact on a nearby roof, using tech to slip past barriers, avoid eyes, distract guards. Really precise.
Like a ghost.
Pretty much. And this careful infiltration leads to finding something small, but huge. An abandoned tablet up high somewhere, loaded with clinical data.
Okay, and here's where it gets really dark, I gather.
This is where the horror really comes into focus, yeah. The data shows Clan Kelley isn't just kidnapping people. They transform people into products.
Products. Just, wow, the dehumanization is stark. How do they mean transform?
It's a bit vague on the exact science in the source, but it's not just enslavement. It implies repurposing them. Physically, mentally, their very being is altered.
Okay.
And finding this tablet unlocks access to a network leading to a clinic. But inside, it's not just bodies they find. It's fragments of digital memories.
Digital memories, like data ghosts.
Sort of. Echoes of past lives, experiences, captured somehow. And then there's this augmented reality reconstruction. It lets the agent and us essentially witness these horrific experiences, moments of pain you'd want buried forever.
Played back. That's awful.
It really makes you ask, what kind of organization operates like this? So completely devoid of humanity, seeing people as just raw material, actively removing their identities.
The source mentions functions substituted. Does it give any clues about what functions? What are these people being turned into?
Not explicitly, no. And that almost makes it worse, doesn't it? The implication is they're stripped of their past to serve some new, probably terrible role in Kelley's network, re-engineered for specific, sinister tasks. We're left to imagine the horrors. Hashtag type 2. Clan Kelley's new export.
All right, let's move to the next part. Clan Kelley's new export. The tone here feels different, more indignant, investigative.
Yeah, the source shifts gears a bit. It bluntly states, the bodies don't just vanish, they circulate.
Circulate, like cargo.
Exactly. It implies a system, a trade, not just random disappearances, but a flow. They're moved, processed within this larger horrible design.
And this leads to a warehouse.
A truly horrific one.
Right.
The source describes a sound, respirators, muffled voices, a sense of silent brutality just hanging in the air.
Sounds like something out of a nightmare.
It's described as meticulously set up for human trafficking. Armed guards everywhere, locked doors, claustrophobic corridors. Every detail points to secrecy, control, protecting the operation at all costs.
So the agent is walking right into the heart of it. High risk.
Extremely high risk. Every step could be the last. The source really emphasizes this feeling of one person trying desperately to shine a light into this absolute darkness.
And what's found underground, that's where the real horror lies, isn't it?
That's where it becomes visceral. Doctors operating purely for profit, men and women sedated, and again, identities removed. Functions substituted.
It's a production line.
A production line for dehumanization. stripping away everything, memories, history, their very essence. It really drives home how unchecked power can just obliterate moral boundaries, turning people into inventory.
Just unbelievable. But there's a mention of hope. A survivor.
It's a small glimmer, yes. They find someone named Lau, a survivor, a crucial witness,
Right.
and the agent manages to get the evidence out. Not just data. The source calls it the weight of the truth.
The weight of the truth. That says a lot. It's about more than just exposure. It's about validating those lives.
Precisely. Making sure their stories aren't just completely erased. #3, Bloody Mary Kelley.
Okay, so now we get to the person behind it all. Bloody Mary Kelley. The source apparently says you have to enter her lair to understand the monster.
Yeah, it frames it like that. A direct challenge. Mary Kelley, the matriarch, ruling from the shadow.
And her base of operations.
A mansion. Described as this grotesque mix, gold, luxury, but filled with secrets and decay. A golden throne built on pain, essentially. DedSec decides, that's it, expose everything, no more secrets.
Time for the full reveal. How does the infiltration go this time?
It's described almost like a digital phantom. A drone slips through stained glass, navigates corridors, hacks systems, cameras, doors, overriding everything.
A ghost in the machine hitting her where she lives.
Exactly. But there's a final hurdle. Her core network's defense code. The source calls it a logical labyrinth, as twisted as her own morality.
So a digital fortress.
Decorated with these fancy paintings, soldiers, dogs, symbols of power, but they hide the network nodes defending the heart of the operation. It's portrayed as a real battle of wits.
And the agent has to push through this digital maze.
Yeah, the source emphasizes the persistence, carefully navigating the circuits, step by step to reach the command center. And then, access granted. The terminal lights up.
And what does it show?
Chilling images, a recording of a human auction, live.
A human option and no.
The source quotes it, men and women, marked, sold. And you hear the audience applauding.
Say horrifying complicity.
And Mary Kelley. The source says she smiles like a cruel goddess, just completely at ease watching this degradation.
You saved it all. The recording.
Every bit. Her operation completely exposed. It forces you to see evil not as some caricature, but as this powerful, composed woman, utterly detached from brutality. Her smile. It's chilling.
The source goes further, though, right? It defines her in specific ways.
Yes, it paints her as more than just a villain. She's an archetype. The toxic queen, only nurturing her own dark interest, destroying anything she can't control. The cold merchant, reducing lives to numbers on a spreadsheet.
Just assets.
Just assets. And finally, the cynical visionary, someone who genuinely believes that order comes from pain and submission. It's a portrait of absolute ruthlessness.
So it's not just crime for profit. It's almost ideological for her, suffering as a tool.
That's the terrifying implication, yes. The source hints at this twisted worldview where human worth is nothing, and fear is the only real currency. Her smile isn't just pleasure, it's proof her cynical vision works. It's this level of profound moral corruption that makes her symbolic of unchecked power.
So with this horrifying evidence, the auction, everything DedSec finally breaks the silence. London starts to see,
or at least parts of London. They start to grasp that the real monsters might wear expensive suits, command huge systems, manipulate everything from the shadows.
operating in plain sight, almost.
Exactly. But the deep dive, as the source presents it, ends not with a feeling of victory after the agent escapes, but with this sense of urgency.
Because she's still out there.
She's still out there. The truth is exposed, yeah, but the fight's not over. Not even close. Her empire might be damaged, but maybe not destroyed. It reminds us exposure is just the beginning.
And the source says technology isn't enough to truly dismantle something like this.
Right. It emphasizes what's really needed. Hope, courage, and memory. The intangible things, the human spirit, essentially. That's what can challenge this kind of entrenched evil.
Hope, courage, and memory.
So what do we take away from this journey into London's silent horror? It's a stark reminder, isn't it? Exposing the truth is vital, absolutely, but it's only the first step.
The real legacy is what comes next.
It's in remembering the victims, the atrocities. It's having the courage to act, even when things seem overwhelmingly dark, and holding on to hope. The source leaves us hanging with that question, really. It puts it back on you, the listener. Now that the truth is revealed, what will you do with it?
A powerful question to end on.
Because that's where the real fight begins.